A shocking change at Red Bull reveals why the downfall will continue. Verstappen makes huge demands as Red Bull is scared of losing him, and Ferrari is ready to make changes. Let's get into the latest F1 news. The recent dismissal of Christian Horner from Red Bull Racing sent shockwaves through the Formula One community. This surprising decision may have deeper roots in a significant shift within Red Bull GmbH's ownership structure. Recent documents filed in Austria reveal that the ownership dynamics of Red Bull GmbH have changed dramatically. Guilherme Uvidea, a pivotal figure in the company, has seen his personal shareholding come to an end. Most notably, this alteration marks the first instance in the company's history where the Uvidea family no longer holds the majority stake, as ownership is now balanced equally with their Austrian counterparts. These newly uncovered details show that effective May 31st, Uvidea's 2% stake was officially transferred to Fides Trustees SA, a Swiss investment firm that specializes in trust and corporate services. This shift in ownership raises important questions about the future direction of Red Bull Racing and how these changes may impact decision-making at the top levels of the organization. Understanding the importance of this ownership structure requires a look back at the company's origins. Red Bull Racing operates under Red Bull GmbH, which was established in 1984 through the partnership of Austrian entrepreneur Dietrich Mateschitz and Thai pharmacist Chaleo Uvidea. They initially divided ownership with a 49% stake each, leaving the remaining 2% to Guilherme Uvidea, Chaleo's son. For decades, this arrangement allowed the Uvidea family to maintain a majority stake. With their influence, Guilherme's control proved crucial for Horner's continued role within the team, particularly following Mateschitz's death in 2022, which brought a new board and management structure into play. This shift has created newfound dynamics in Red Bull Racing, especially concerning leadership positions. Traditionally, the Uvidea family's shareholding has been viewed as a protective shield for Horner. Reports suggested last year that he might have lost favor with the Austrian shareholders under Mark Matschitz, yet the steadfast support from the Uvideas kept him in his position. With their withdrawal from being majority shareholders, hints arise about potential shifts in loyalty and support within the team. The transformation in Red Bull's ownership may now embolden the Austrian shareholders to assert more influence. With the balance of power in flux, Horner's future remains uncertain, and the implications for Red Bull Racing are significant. As fans and analysts alike speculate on these developments, the internal workings of the team will be closely monitored in the months to come. In summary, the recent changes in ownership at Red Bull GmbH signal a pivotal moment for both the organization and Christian Horner. The support dynamics that have long sustained Horner's position could shift, leading us to wonder what this means for the future trajectory of Red Bull Racing. Keep watching as this story unfolds in the ever-evolving world of Formula One. The recent developments surrounding Christian Horner's position as team principal and CEO of Red Bull Racing have created quite a stir in the Formula One community. Despite initial support suggested by Uvidea's presence at the Austrian Grand Prix, where he posed for pictures with Horner, a sudden shift occurred just 9 days later that no one saw coming. After nearly 2 decades at the helm, Horner was unexpectedly ousted from his role, leaving many to speculate about the motives behind this drastic decision. The change in the ownership structure that took place over a month ago opened the door for both sides of the shareholder equation, Austrian and Thai, to reassess Horner's future with the team. What's particularly interesting is that last year there were attempts to remove him from his role, but those efforts had been thwarted due to the solid backing from Thai shareholders. However, the sale of Uvidea's 2% stake appears to have stripped Horner of that essential safety net. The dynamics of shareholder voting rights could have played a pivotal role in this outcome. Even if both parties held equal shares, discrepancies in voting power could lead to decisions that favor one side over the other. Many are left pondering, why now? The timing of Horner's dismissal raises questions about the strategy and foresight of Red Bull's management. Crafting a coherent path forward in such a volatile environment can be challenging, particularly with rumors suggesting that the decision may have been made in haste, potentially disrupting the support system that had been in place for Horner. Former F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone described the situation in unusually stark terms, implying the gravity of Horner's dismissal by likening it to offense of the highest degree. Clearly, there's more to this story than meets the eye. With the groundwork laid out for a shakeup, all eyes will be on how Red Bull Racing navigates this uncharted territory moving forward. In the world of motorsports, strategic changes can have significant implications, and the loss of a key figure like Horner may ripple through team dynamics, affecting drivers and staff alike. His extensive experience and established connections have been pivotal to Red Bull's prominence in the F1 arena. Stay tuned as the dust settles on this shocking turn of events, and keep an eye on how Red Bull Racing redefines its strategy in the wake of this leadership change. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Horner's exit marks the end of an era for the team, and the ramifications will no doubt be felt for some time to come. As we continue to follow this developing story, remember that in the fast-paced world of Formula One, change is the only constant. Who will fill the void left by Horner, and how will this impact Max Verstappen's future? Only time will tell as new chapters unfold in the high-octane saga of Red Bull Racing. Max Verstappen is no stranger to the speculation of driver movements, and recent events have ignited yet another wave of rumors linking him to Mercedes. The storm began when Verstappen was spotted driving a silver Mercedes in a sim racing session during the British Grand Prix weekend. This led conspiracy theorists to speculate about a potential shift from Red Bull to their fierce rivals. However, Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko quickly dismissed these theories, suggesting that Verstappen's car choices in sim racing mean little. He emphasized that Verstappen regularly drives various cars, including an Aston Martin and a Ferrari, in his simulations, which doesn't necessarily indicate his intentions regarding his future in Formula One. The backdrop to this speculation is a significant change at Red Bull. Christian Horner, who had been the team's principal for 20 years, announced his departure. In a brief statement, CEO Oliver Mintzlaff expressed gratitude for Horner's contributions, highlighting his role in establishing Red Bull Racing as a powerhouse in Formula One. This shakeup might be a prelude to further changes within the team, igniting rumors that Verstappen could be the next prominent figure to leave. These whispers gained momentum when George Russell, a fellow driver, mentioned in Austria that discussions between Verstappen and Mercedes were ongoing. Just a week later, these discussions allegedly progressed to concrete negotiations, with claims surfacing that Verstappen had signaled his willingness to join Mercedes. Reports indicate that Mercedes president Ola Källenius has given the green light for team principal Toto Wolff to pursue Verstappen's signature, which could involve the hefty financial implications of a buyout from Red Bull. Should Verstappen decide to leave, there are significant financial obstacles given his exit clause, which reportedly could demand he places lower than fourth in the standings after the Hungarian Grand Prix. Currently, Verstappen sits comfortably in third place, maintaining a solid lead over his closest rival Charles Leclerc, making it unlikely for this clause to come into play. The cost of buying Verstappen out could reach a staggering £100 million, in addition to his substantial £50 million annual salary. Despite the swirling rumors and speculation, Verstappen maintains a public stance of denial regarding his moves to Mercedes. During a recent media interaction at Silverstone, he was direct, suggesting he can't envision himself driving for another team. He stated, "I always said to the team it would be ideal, and I think they think the same way, to finish off my career in Formula One with one team." His commitment to Red Bull appears firm, at least for now. As the F1 community buzzes with speculation, I'm bound to eyes will remain fixed on the ongoing dynamics within Red Bull, and whether Verstappen's loyalty will be tested in a sport where contracts are often made to be broken. Stay tuned for updates as this story continues to unfold. And remember, in Formula One, anything can happen. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the latest buzz surrounding Max Verstappen and the recent upheavals at Red Bull Racing. Following the dramatic sacking of Christian Horner, questions arise about Verstappen's future and the impact on the team. Amidst the Silverstone weekend, Verstappen stirred controversy when he appeared driving a silver Mercedes in a sim racing session. This caused quite a stir among fans, who speculated about the implications of his car choice. However, Red Bull's Motorsport advisor, Helmut Marko, brushed off these conspiracy theories, stating, "I didn't notice that." He emphasized that it's not unusual for Verstappen to drive different cars, pointing out that in real life, he's often seen behind the wheel of an Aston Martin, Ferrari, or Audi. But what does this mean for Verstappen's potential move to Mercedes? Marko downplayed the notion, remarking that while discussions might occur, there are currently no developments regarding an actual transfer. He also mentioned that Verstappen's exit clause has not been triggered. He hasn't signed and can't do it at all, he noted, expressing his frustration over persistent questions surrounding the subject, saying, "It's just annoying now." As the drama unfolds, Red Bull's surprising decision to part ways with Horner raises further questions about the team's dynamics. His firing came soon after the British Grand Prix, reportedly fueled by the desire from the Verstappen camp for less control from Horner. This shift signals possible turbulence for the team, especially as they navigate the aftermath of Horner's departure. Now, what's next for Verstappen? Longtime F1 commentator Martin Brundle suggested that this shakeup might shift the balance of power within the team and could affect Verstappen's position. After all, Red Bull has been synonymous with Verstappen's success over the years, so this transition is monumental. But the turbulence doesn't stop there. As we review the fallout from Horner's sacking, the Formula One landscape could potentially witness historic changes. Could there be new leadership guiding Verstappen and the team? Only time will reveal how these developments will shape the sport and each driver's trajectory. Fans are also buzzing over other recent events in F1, like the scrutiny faced by British Grand Prix officials for their handling of Oscar Piastri's penalty. Many have labeled it excessively harsh, stirring debates among the community about fair play in racing. In conclusion, the next chapters of Verstappen's career and Red Bull's strategy promise to be thrilling. Will they emerge stronger, or will this turbulence hinder their progress? Keep your eyes peeled, as the world of F1 is always full of surprises. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates in the exciting world of Formula One. In the thrilling world of Formula One, every second counts, and sometimes a moment of hesitation can cost you the victory. This was the case for Oscar Piastri during the recent British Grand Prix. His race, which seemed to be under control, took an unexpected turn due to a contentious penalty handed down by the stewards. As the race unfolded, Piastri found himself in a prime position. However, a moment of braking behind the safety car changed everything. The stewards deemed his actions as erratic when he created a gap behind the safety car. This decision ended up costing him a crucial 10 seconds, one that could have secured his first win in Formula One. Former driver Jolyon Palmer analyzed the situation in detail. He challenged the penalty, asserting that the braking traces between Piastri and his rival, Max Verstappen, demonstrated a disparity in their actions. Palmer pointed out that Verstappen did not brake as hard as he potentially could have in the same situation, making Piastri's penalty seem particularly extreme. The incident happened as the safety car lights turned off, signaling a restart. Piastri accelerated, maintaining a safe distance. But as he braked to avoid overtaking the safety car, Verstappen capitalized on the moment to pass him, pushing Piastri into an even more vulnerable position. Palmer argued that during this phase, Piastri had limited control over his pace, highlighting the challenges drivers face in these split-second decisions. As race conditions evolved, the McLaren team, with Lando Norris ultimately taking the win, was forced to process this unfortunate turn of events. Norris finished ahead of Piastri by 6.8 seconds, a gap largely attributed to the penalty that Piastri received. The debate continues. Was the penalty too harsh, or was it warranted? Palmer, reflecting on the situation, insists it was overly punitive. He described the incident as an innocuous moment in the race, suggesting an unfair judgment on Piastri's actions. In a sport where rules can often spark controversy, this incident adds another layer to the ongoing discussions about racing ethics and the role of stewards in enforcing the rules. As fans and analysts dissect the race, it's clear that Piastri's experience is a strong reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in Formula One. Stay tuned as we continue to follow Piastri's journey through the rest of the season and keep track of the evolving dialogue surrounding the decisions made during races. Whether the penalty will influence his performance remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the drama of Formula One never fails to keep us on the edge of our seats. As the tension unfolded on the track, Palmer scrutinized the data from the incident involving Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen. He pointed out that while Oscar slammed on the brakes, bringing his speed down significantly, Max appeared to have a different approach. Palmer noted, Oscar has hit the brakes pretty hard. Max, on the other hand, didn't brake particularly hard. He seems to have seen the situation developing ahead of time. It's intriguing because there was no indication of a lockup from Verstappen, suggesting he wasn't pushing his braking limits to stay behind Piastri. Instead, he opted for a smoother line, allowing him to navigate around the McLaren. Pamler's analysis showed a clear distinction in their braking patterns. He stated, "The data reveals that Max's braking trace was more gradual, unlike Piastri's sudden peak." This analysis left many questioning why Verstappen didn't utilize his ability to brake harder to avoid the conflict altogether. The aftermath of the race had Piastri frustrated, claiming his driving during the second restart mirrored his first. But the data seemed to contradict him, suggesting that Verstappen had the capability to adjust his braking, but didn't feel it was necessary at that moment. As we transition from the track drama, another significant change is brewing in Formula One. The news of Christian Horner's sacking by Red Bull sent shockwaves through the paddock. This abrupt end raises questions about the future dynamics of the team and what it means for Verstappen moving forward. With the championship still up for grabs, Piastri may have left Silverstone clinging to his lead, but with Norris hot on his heels, the race for the title is bound to heat up. Stay tuned as Formula One continues to surprise us at every turn. Fred Vasseur has come forward, revealing that Ferrari knows what it needs to tackle for the upcoming F1 2026 season. Although we're only halfway through the current season, he suggests that the Scuderia has already begun shifting its focus towards that long-term goal. Currently, McLaren is setting the pace in both championships, dominating the standings with an impressive 9 wins out of 12 races in 2025. As Vasseur assesses the situation, he acknowledges that trying to close the gap with the Papaya squad has become increasingly difficult, if not insurmountable. During a recent interview, Vasseur reflected on the performances following the British Grand Prix, where Ferrari faced another tough outing. Lewis Hamilton lost the battle for the podium to Sauber's Nico Hülkenberg, while Ferrari's own Charles Leclerc faced a challenging race, finishing 4th. With no victories this year, the pressure on Vasseur is mounting, as Ferrari sits a staggering 238 points behind McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. Vasseur's honest admission underscores the challenges the team faces, as he states, "I think we are all lucid that it will be more than difficult to come back on McLaren." He pointed out that while Ferrari can sometimes compete with McLaren on certain tracks or under specific conditions, the overall advantage clearly lies with their rivals. This pace deficit is transforming into a significant championship gap, leading Vasseur to admit that he may have already thrown in the towel regarding the current season. With the introduction of sweeping regulations next year, he is now turning his focus toward Ferrari's 2026 campaign. They have a big advantage in terms of championship, he notes, emphasizing the tough hill Ferrari needs to climb. Despite the struggles, Vasseur remains committed to competing fiercely on the track, stating, "We are still in the fight with Mercedes and Red Bull. We are still in the fight to win some races, and it's important for the team." The determined team boss insists they know what must be done as they prepare for the challenges of next year. In light of these developments, there's ongoing speculation about the future of Fred Vasseur within Ferrari. The CEO of Ferrari has issued statements regarding Vasseurs' prospects amid the team's struggles, highlighting the difficult nature of the sport. With the competition heating up and the 2026 season looming on the horizon, all eyes will be on Ferrari and how they navigate this tough time. Will Vasseur lead the team to redemption, or will they need to reevaluate their strategies further? Stick around for more updates and insights into the world of F1. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss our next deep dive into the thrilling highs and lows of Formula One racing. Lewis Hamilton is making headlines once again, and this time he's got a warning for Ferrari regarding their focus for the 2026 car development. After finishing fourth in the British Grand Prix, Hamilton expressed his frustrations about the SF25, calling it the most difficult car he's driven. He emphasized the need for Ferrari to start shifting their attention toward next year's car, stating, "It's not a car that likes those conditions." Hamilton's experience in Silverstone reinforced his belief that data from the current season is crucial. He mentioned the importance of collaborating with the team's designers to avoid carrying over problematic elements into the next year's model. He feels that it's imperative for all teams, including Mercedes, to focus on development to enhance performance, particularly in engine development and suspension philosophy. In response to Hamilton's criticism, Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur acknowledged the challenges. Hamilton's comments about the car being unbelievably tricky highlight the struggles within the team. As speculation about Fred Vasseur's future persists, the environment at Ferrari continues to be tense, with questions surrounding how they'll address ongoing performance issues. As we look ahead, it's clear that strategy and development will be crucial for Ferrari if they hope to compete effectively. Hamilton, a seven-time champion, clearly believes that the right steps now can pay off in the future. So, will Ferrari heed Hamilton's advice and pivot towards next year's developments? Stay tuned as this season continues to unfold. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling content from the world of F1.